Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Joel and James Academy. Myself Amit Joel and I am going to summarize the book called Next Level Thinking, which is authorized by one of my best author Joel Osteen. And I admire this book and I recommend to all of you to read this book once, as this is one kind of uplifting book. Once again I am saying this is an uplifting book that may target your deprived soul to a lightsome or a elated soul. The book deals with the epicenter of our thinking, as thinking is the core center of this book, as nothing will change until you make up your mind that you are not going to accept mediocrity. So why don't you take the limitations of yourself? You have so much potential, break out of that box and try something new. So in the last video we have discussed some of the topics which were covered in this book. So we have discussed the introduction part of our environment and other people's expectation of us, set the limits of our life. We adapt to what's around us. As we have discussed the example of an oak tree, and the chapter that is called Take the Limitations Off, example of the fleas that were kept in a container, and many things we have learned in our first chapter. So in this video we will discuss the next portion of this book. So be with us, and okay, so this is our third topic of first chapter, that is called Become a Barrier Breaker. So I have defined the term barrier. So a barrier basically means any hindrance which stops you from achieving your goal. And this topic starts with the story of Joel Osteen's father, late John Osteen. As John Osteen grew up in a very poor family on a cotton farm in Paris, Texas, served as life as extreme poverty till the age of 17. When he made another major decision about his future, and he changed his mind. The people around him were good people, but they were limited. Their minds have become conditioned to accept not having enough, to always struggle and lack. The problem is that if you accept it as your way of life, you won't do anything about it. It is easy to get comfortable with mediocrity and just adapt to your environment. So here, John Osteen, who at the age of 17 told to his son Joel Osteen that my children would not be raised like I was raised upon. Actually, in this book, maximum examples are set by the author's own family, like his father, his mother. His mother was diagnosed with cancer. His father was very poor. Okay, so his father's attitude was to boldly confess, and this confession made his life a changer. So just like his father, we also learn some lessons about our family, our generation, that we should not be in a mediocrity. Either we will fail or be success, but the one thing is that we should try get away from that trap of comfort zone. Here the author trying to state that if his father had accepted that poverty and a limited education was his lot in his life, he wouldn't be where he is in today, a great author, preacher of God, means great personality. So he's saying you that, are you accepting things that are less than God's best? So what his father had done, he broke the curse of poverty in his family and took them to a new level. He was a barrier breaker. So actually the author tries that you should also become a barrier breaker. So have you adapted to an environment that is a limited one? So the author tries to say you that you have big dreams in your heart. You know there is a new business in you, a management position, a book, a better house, a big car, but you are doing as well as your friends. So you have gone as far as family has gone in the past. No, don't settle there. Break out that mold. Nothing will be sadder than to come out at the end of life and realize that we could have become if we had just lived with an at possibility mindset instead of at risk mentality. So this line touched my heart, because at the end of our life we will come to a conclusion that if I had done this, if the possibility, because the two terms will run entire in our life. One is possibility and one is risk. So many a times the risk factor is very higher, so we eliminate the possibility factor, and with that risk factor we survive. Okay, this topic also deals with a great example of his father, As his father once upon a time drove back to his hometown, his father wanted to reminisce and show him where he had grown up. Okay, so but how he had raised up his old friends, his family, his school. So there he met many of his friends, but they were all in the same situation: extreme poverty, defeat, mediocrity. They were good people, but it hit the author how little they had accomplished in their lives. They had made the mistake of accepting the limitations they were born into and adapting to their environment. It is very sad to know that they were at the end of their lives and still they have never realized that they were tapped into their own real potential. So there is the great line that you may be in a limited environment, great barriers, great bondage, but good news is that you don't have to stay there. Yes, this is the God. This is the God promises that you don't have to stay there. So here the author tries to say that don't go through life and miss your destiny. You weren't created to get stuck, to settle and stay at the same place year after year through the decades. You were created to excel. There's potential in you, right? Just waiting to come out. So take some steps of faith. Okay, you have gift that will cause new doors to open, talent that will bring new opportunities. Get rid of the low expectations, quite making excuses to settle where you are. So God's favor on your life. So we have come to our end. So please like and subscribe my channel if you like this video, and please give me some feedback if you like any correction or modification. And thank you so much for listening my video. Okay, so we will come very soon to our last part of this chapter. So God bless you all, and thank you so much for listening. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.